I'm kind of still a little bit punch drunk. It was a rough weekend in Alabama. We played two very good teams. We knew that going in, that we were opening up with teams that are very traditional NCAA regional teams, and we're obviously not that right now. We have a long. I knew we had a long way to go. I didn't realize how long the road might be. It was very disappointing that we didn't, you know, I thought we would do better. I'm not saying that I thought we'd come away with wins in those games because I knew they were going to be tough, but I felt like we would be a little more, you know, hold our own a little better. And there were stretches where we did. It was very similar in some ways to what happened at Southern Mississippi the week before, earlier in the week. We just have thing about basketball when you're a struggling team. Most games you can look at and go, we played them pretty even except for that 5 minutes or that 4 minutes of the second half. And there's little stretches every game where we kind of seem to be unraveling. Now the game Sunday was more a case. I mean, we were 17 for 70 from the floor, and you know what? And there's not a whole lot you can do. And the first thing you got to ask yourself, okay, you missed 53 shots. What kind of shots were they? And first assessment, we watched the film on the bus riding back. I feel like most of them were decent shots. I can remember one possession, one of our best players, Keyshawn Street, who got like 30 at Southern Mississippi earlier in the week. Sunday he was 0 for 7. It happens. He wasn't trying to miss any of those shots, but I think all those shots were pretty good shots. There was one possession in the second half when it was getting away from us where we got him a wide open three right in front of the bench, and I kind of was down there standing behind him, and he shot it, missed it. Rebound comes off. I think our freshman Latch scrambled and got the rebound. I can't remember for sure who got the rebound. We got the rebound, kicked it right back out to him. Key caught it, and I'm standing right behind him. I'm saying, let it rip. Let it rip. Don't hesitate. You got the same shot. You're wide open. He shot it, and Sunday they just weren't falling. But the effort was there. We've been pressing. We forced 18 turnovers. We made 12. I mean, that maybe is grasping for silver linings. I don't think there's any silver linings when you get beat as bad as we did. But, we did, we're playing hard. I mean, you're not turning the ball. They're not going to turn the ball over 18 times against pressure if guys aren't working. Rebounding, it's hard to win a rebounding battle when you miss 53 shots. We actually had more offensive rebounds. They just had a lot more chances to rebound because of how many we missed. But, we got 17 offensive boards. I think they had 14 offensive against us. So some of those hustle areas, I think we did okay. The reality is what I've been saying to the team all along, it takes time. It takes time for a group of guys. I think we've got good players. It's just they're not playing together totally yet. They haven't figured it out yet. We're going to keep battling, and we're going to keep adjusting and tweaking things, and take it a game at a time. And we got one here. Thank God we're going to be at home Thursday. Hopefully we'll shoot it better in our house than we did down there in Alabama this weekend, and we'll move forward. Questions?
Coach, you're talking about the tough competition. Do you think new guys realize just how good this whole region is now, and just kind of they know what the goal is to set their minds towards?
Yeah, I mean, I think again we did. You only had one guy that played last year, and I think Will, our other player that was with us last year, those two guys understand how good the Gulf South Conference is. But these guys have been playing. A lot of them have been playing junior college ball, and maybe they do, maybe they don't. But if there's any doubt, they do now. And the thing is, West Alabama's picked like second or third in our league this year, and they handled Eckerd pretty well the first night. They turned around yesterday, and Florida Southern put it on them the same way they did us. I mean, it's basically the same score. So, again, Florida Southern's good. I mean, I think right now they're just clearly a better team than we are right now. Eckerd, I think we could play them next week and have a different result. And the crazy thing is, you look at the scores, you go, it looks like Eckerd beat you a lot worse than they did. But that game just kind of, again, the shooting was so bad. We didn't shoot that bad against Florida Southern. but it just unraveled. And it's hard when you're battling and you're working and you're battling and the shot, you're getting open shots and they're not going in. You come down, you try to keep their heads up, keep them scrapping, and you get another open shot. And at a certain point, it's really tough to keep plugging. You're taking them punches in the face, and trying to come up and keep battling.
Is it going to be a big relief for these guys to get back at home this week?
I hope so. I hope so. And Lane is good. Lane beat Union over the weekend. Lane's 2-0. They started out in one of these cross-sectional things, and so we got a team that's coming in here that's 2-0. Union, actually, I said West Al. West Al was picked third. Union was picked second, and they lost to Lane. My Christian Brothers team lost at home, lost twice to Lane last year. My old team, that was a pretty good team, lost to them. So Lane is not by any stretch going to be, one that's going to be an easy ball game for us. We're going to have to play very well to hold down the fort this week. But again, hopefully we'll make some shots because it makes everything else better. Like I said, the other main thing I mentioned too is I thought we did a pretty good job in our press. But when you're not scoring, it's hard to press. Sometimes you can get a little pressure on after a missed shot, but for the most part, if you're going to really get a press set where we were creating some turnovers, you need to get it in the basket to begin with.
You often hear about coaches maybe being thin on patience, but in this case here, is that something that you have to constantly maybe stress more to self than
Right. I mean,
team?
well, I'm not often referred to being thin on anything, so that's one. But yeah. I mean, going in, we all, the people that follow the program, and I think the great thing about this program is that not just the people, my administration and my bosses all understand where we are and where we were starting from last May when I took the job. But I think that, I've been surprised how much the people and the fans, our community understands that we're basically starting, in a sense, from square one. Now, we still have all the tradition of Delta State athletics and Delta State basketball. In fact, I told the team, maybe this isn't a real positive thing, but I told them Sunday after the game, I said, guys, right now at this point, we may be the worst team in the history of Delta State basketball. And I said, but it doesn't matter where we, this is where we got to go from. This has been an ugly weekend, but we're going to get better, and we're going to continue to grow as a group. I still believe in those guys. Again, the patience part is something that I've been telling myself. I'm telling them, and when I'm telling them, I'm telling myself the same thing. Just trying to reiterate and say, hey, we got to hang in there. We got to believe in each other, believe in what we're trying to do, and I feel like we've got good guys in that regard. So I feel positive about our chances as we go forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
7 o'clock.